Okay. Uh, this is something that's very important because I found out a lot of Uber drivers or Lyft drivers. Uh, some are like working 40 hours a week, apparently, and still only like making $900 a month. It's like that's crazy. I haven't heard it being that low before, but I remember when I would be talking to other Uber drivers and they're saying, yeah, I make only 600, 500 a week. And I go, that doesn't make any sense. But I went, oh, you're not doing it the right way. So there is a right way of doing it. Okay. So if you do it right and you're driving in LA, then if you should be making minimum wage, I guarantee that. But I used to make 2,200 a week, which is great. But now it did drop for sure, but there's a specific way on how to do that. There is a very specific way on how I'm able to hit right now like 1,200. I could hit 15 if I was pushing it. But if you drive 8 hours, you should at least make 200, 240 for 8 hours. And sometimes I drive 12, and I love it. It's fun. So 12 hours, and I'm having a good time because I'm talking to people and I'm listening to my audiobooks. I love to read, and I get to go through 3 to 5 books a month, which I enjoy. And I don't have the music on. So, and some people talk, some people don't, and that does include tips. I've gotten, as an Uber driver, I've gotten a $70 tip on a $7 ride. I've gotten a couple of $200 tips, $100 tip, lots of $20 tips on a $5 ride. So it does also include that. Very courteous, very polite. I'll show you what I'm doing. But that's why I drive at night, because during the day you make minimum wage. At night you're hitting 45, 60, 100, 120 was the highest an hour. When they have those bonuses, those crazy bonuses. So yeah, it kind of averages out. If you're willing to work at night, then you're hitting the higher numbers. Only if they have bonuses. If they don't, you're only making minimum wage. So, but it's the end of the night. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I do sleep at 4:30. I gotta go to sleep, and then I sleep till 6. And then I wake up, and I have an alarm, but I wake up right before the alarm, just automatically. And then I do meditation, which is you clear the mind. Think of a white room, and as I'm doing that, at times I'm kind of going unconscious, but I come right back and I do the exercise again, because a lot of stuff come out in your brain, and you want to clear the mind. And then 7:45, my other alarm turns on, and I got to get my day started. Go shower, go do things. So, but anyways, if I try driving more than 12 hours, and I just don't enjoy it. If I'm driving from like 9 a.m. all the way to 12, that's a little bit too much. Then I don't enjoy it. But if I'm driving 12 hours, it's because I'm having a good time. Okay, and it's fun. And especially when you're trying to go, oh, I typically get paid $15 an hour, or 20, then minus gas, so then it's 15. So it's like, that doesn't feel good. You drive like, let me give you an example. This is a very, very good lesson. You know, when I'm with one day when I drove like 12 hours, the first 5 hours I made like $100, right? So it's $20 an hour minus gas. So I'm like, okay. And then when the bonuses hit, over the next 7 hours, I make $400, right? So it's $500 for the night, but I drove 12 hours, but I was driving 12 hours. So at that point, I'm getting a little tired. I go, I gotta stop. You know, the bonuses are fun, but I gotta stop. It's like free money. You know, when there's a bonus, you hit the bonus. You just collect the money. So it's kind of fun when you're like, wow, I'm making $120 an hour, right? That was like one of my highest. But I'll typically, with the bonuses, hit 60 as long as they're throwing out the bonuses. If they're not, it doesn't even feel like it's worth it at night. But I still enjoy driving it. So that is, let's go with that challenge, because it's no secret of what I'm doing. It's not a secret. You have both apps, Uber and Lyft app, going at the same time. You drive when the bonuses are happening, which is usually when people got to go to work, first thing in the morning, 5 to 9 a.m. or when that's when people need to get to the airport and stuff like that. Obviously weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day. Or you drive at night from like 5 to 12. But that's what I discovered in Los Angeles, and then obviously on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're driving till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, Friday and Saturday, because people need to go home from their bars, and that's when the bonuses just go kind of crazy. So, but hopefully they keep doing the bonuses. Without those bonuses, you don't make that kind of money, and it just averages out. So, yeah, it should be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're willing, Thursday you can make $1,500, but it has dropped. It's closer to $300 a night. So you end up with $900 over the weekend. Yeah. So just like a bartender or a waitress, you know, they work when everyone is having a drink, going out to eat. Bartenders make money at night. I pick up a lot of bartenders. So if bartenders make a lot of money. That's probably very good for you if you don't drink. I can't be a bartender because I'll drink. So I don't want to drink. But that's why I like driving, because it's like, wow, it was great. I'm having a good time. I'm doing my meditations. I'm reading all my books. I'm talking to people. I'm not selling them anything. Having great conversations. I like driving. I like looking. You know, those long drives are very therapeutic for me. I love them. I like driving long distances. So I like driving to Las Vegas. You know, I want to drive across the country. I like trains. Sitting in a train. Not so much the airplane. I like the train. You know, cruise ship was cool, but I like the train. And I like to drive. So, road trips. So for me, I'm having my greatest time in my life. If I won the lottery, I would still do this, because I'm having a great time. I'm getting to read, I'm getting to meditate, I'm going to go through affirmations. These are other stuff that I'll talk to you about later. But the books I want to read or reread, applying the techniques with the people that are coming in. So let's say I'm reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? By Dale Carnegie. I've read the book and I'm like, okay, well, there's plenty of people in the backseat of my car I could practice with. It teaches you communication, okay? Because you're practicing, and it's great. I get a lot of hugs. the wife comes out, the husband comes out, the wife gives me a hug, husband shakes my hand, you know. And I didn't, you know, that was kind of, you know, these are my experiences. Can't I mean, I don't know what would be better. Like, I don't like to golf. I don't, you know, like I want to surf. I don't like the sun. So, and if I won a lottery, I'd still do this. This is so fun. So, anyways, the technique. Let's go back to the technique. I know video is my experience as a rideshare driver. I love it. Absolutely love it. I've been a karate instructor before. I've owned a smoothie shop before. I have 10 Emmy Award show titles as a dance choreographer, set lighting design. I was a speaker at the Emmy Awards. Did all that stuff. I was a magician. I did all that stuff. I acted in a commercial as Murphy's Samurai. I did all that stuff, and I love what I'm doing now. I just absolutely love it. I was thinking about truck driving across the country. I go, no, this is better. I get to talk to people. They're right there. You know, not everyone talks. So I get to communicate with people. And people are telling me their greatest stories, or I help them with their kid, you know, like kind of parenting lessons. Of course, I tell them who I am. I go like, yeah, guys, I have 6 kids that I raised, 4 biological. So I'm a lot older than you think I am. So I get to give parenting advice. Sometimes the kid's right there talking about their dreams that they're having with the parent sitting next to him, and I go, oh, here's a technique you should do, and I'll help him. He's sitting right there. He's confessing to his mom if he doesn't know if this world is the real world or the dream world. And I told her, I have my children, and I told her about my children. I said, my daughter, I'm gonna teach you a technique. Have a little toy, or something significant, and if you put it in your pocket, if you pull it out, you can see it. That means this is the real world. And if in the dream world, try to see if you can grab that object. If you can't, then that's not the real world. That's the dream world. It's a very good mental, psychological, mental practice if you can't tell the difference between the dream world and the physical world. So anyways, I told him that. She goes, thank you. You actually see that example in a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio called Inception. He does that technique, which is a very powerful technique. But I told the parents that I've had people that have said, you saved my life because of the advice I gave them. Taking him back from a rehab place, emergency room, after he had an overdose. I had a conversation with him, and it's just been a great experience. So, okay, I can tell you lots of stories about my kids. I had 15,000 rides. They're all great. So, love it. Anyway, there's so many stories in there. I can't get into all of them. Obviously, okay, so let's go back to the bonuses. Basically, what I'm doing is I have 2 apps going, Uber and Lyft, just see which one has the higher bonuses. So you're only working for the bonuses. When you have the bonus, you game the system. So let's say it's $5 extra a ride. You only take short rides that only keep you within that bonus area, which are basically short rides, okay? And you want to do them as quick as possible. So if you're doing that at night, you stay within Hollywood, Santa Monica, all those areas, LA area. You don't drive out of that area, because once you get out of the area, you have to drive back to get that bonus. So, and then they'll pop up, right? If they're cheap, there's like $2-3. Well, that sucks. But if they're throwing it at like $5, $7, $10, $15 a ride, you take a $2 ride and you get a $15 bonus. You know, you go on to the next one, right? Because those bonuses stay there for between certain times when people got to go home from the bar from like 12 to 2:30. So, and when the bonuses disappear, I just stop. But as long as you're doing that, you're hitting the higher numbers. And then if you take long rides, those are fun because you're like, okay, I'm gonna get paid $40 for this ride from here to Orange County or Irvine. But I'll usually get a nice long ride back, or I'll pin the rides back. Okay, so it's like, okay, that was 60 minutes of drive time, and it's $40. But then there's gas, $10. So you still make $30. So, anyways, that's like the basics, and that's pretty much it. Just get there. It's no big secret, and we should I'll challenge you. Hey, if you do it correctly, if you drive 8 hours, you should be making 200, 240 minimum. But it used to be cool when you're making 280, 300. And then if you're driving just at the nighttime, it's like you can make $500 when they had the bonuses. So now they don't, so it's like 300 over 6 hours, 8 hours, some stuff like that. So that's fun. I like doing those. Okay, so that's it. But if you don't do that, you're making minimum wage. If you don't have both apps going, and Lyft doesn't have enough rides because it's not as popular as Uber. So Uber, once you get the Uber thing going, Uber will give you a lot more rides. But if they're not giving the bonuses, then Lyft's giving the bonuses. You just kind of got to switch back and forth. And also, since you have both on, you're constantly driving. You're not just sitting around waiting for the next ride. So that's probably the thing that a lot of rideshare drivers don't know. And so they're just sitting around waiting for the next ride. That's stupid. And there's like people sitting around at the LAX just smoking a cigarette, and they're just sitting around for like 45 minutes waiting for a ride, or an hour. Some guy said, oh, he just sat there for 3 hours, no rides. He didn't get anything. And that was because he was on Lyft. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do it on Uber. Yeah. So anyways, that's it on that one. I will continue with this because if you can't even finish this process and at least make $1,200 a week driving 40 hours minus gas, so you're making 900 or 1,000 a week if you're driving 40 hours, about $25 an hour, and that's like on average. Yeah, or before you could make like 900 on just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, which is kind of interesting too. Yeah. Anyways, because the rest of the week you're only making minimum wage. So, all right. I'm glad you this information. Okay, so we'll challenge each other. I challenge you, because I'm not gonna no way make so much more money unless I'm doing a weekend. I go, well, if you do the weekend, there's a specific technique on doing it. I can't explain all of it right now, but I kind of did. Just basically go where the bonuses are. And yeah, it's 300 minimum. But, it's gone as high as $500, $800, $1,000 in one night. Obviously, not anymore. But it was $500 for a long time. If you were willing to drive weekends, every night you make $500 a night, which is fun. Because during the rest of the week, you're only making $240 a night. But on the weekends, you could make $500, $800, which was really fun. But anyways, if you don't quite understand what I said, or you're not making it, you're gonna have to watch this video one more time. It's really sad that you're not making that money, because that's not even a lot of money. It's only $1,000. It's only $4,000 a month, which is still bad. But I love doing it. But you should not be making $900 a month. That's terrible. Yeah, 4,000 isn't great, but that's what's the minimum you should be making. I used to make 6,000 a month. And as I hit as high as like 8, but then I kind of was not like, that's all I'm doing, so I just kind of calmed down. Plus they were giving out ridiculous bonuses, so it kind of becomes like a gambling addiction. You can't stop when they keep paying you 80 bucks an hour. You're like, oh shoot, can we get another ride? You're just trying to get rides because it's like free money. But they don't pay that high anymore. But yeah, 4,000, which is only 48,000 a year. Just pays the bills. Okay. Yep. All right. I will talk to you soon. Bye. I'm taking a walk. That's what's going on here. I take walks at night, 3 o'clock.